Rich Cuts presents a Black Pearl Productions. Monumental.
Black Boom, Muddy Waters.
Death is always, once the older you get, the more apparent death is. The more you realize how close to death you eventually are. But growing to die, nigga, that don't even sound like it makes sense to me. If you growing,
you took out the word prepare.
Yeah, like prepare. That whole you live your life with that whole was separated from animal shit. Animals don't worry about that shit. Like whether what I'm doing is gonna how it's gonna affect once I die, the afterlife and all that shit. Animals don't think about that shit. They're instinct. Humans, that's what separates us. So you live to be healthy and shit and to prolong your life. But you live with intent, purpose and shit. If you gonna call it growing, I think that's what happened. Once you stop growing, you pretty much dead.
Time to finish what I started. It's a beautiful feeling to know I put my heart in. I'm all in. Picking up the broken pieces. I done had my share of lessons and no life a teacher. This beat be talking to my soul like it was a preacher. This for them late nights on the road, so turn up your speaker flow, call, turn up the heater. Bet on me, go all in. If I try and I fail, I'ma try it again. I won't stop until I win. Time to finish what I started. It's a beautiful feeling to know I put my heart in. I'm all in. Everything I wanna know, I'm really about to have it to it.
Yeah, he moved it to the kitchen. It's a little closer. It jumped on there?
Yeah, quick.
It's crazy how things switched up though. Like the weeks is better than the weekends now.
What? Business?
Then I kind of thought about it too. I've been going out of town a lot on Saturdays.
What you missing out on shit?
Nah, that's just what I'm saying. Everybody be coming on through the week now, so I have been going out of town almost every weekend. I'm about to light my eucalyptus up. You don't like that joint, do you? You don't like it? It's too strong.
I be smoking shit. Shit, I don't want to do smoking.
Oh yeah. We recording.
All right, I'm supposed to be looking for this shit.
So
Oh man.
So, okay, today sometimes I randomly just, hit people up that I haven't seen in a while, just check up on them. So I hit one of my folks up, just talking to him, telling him I'm just reaching out and speaking, and ask them how they doing, and he say how he doing, and he just got over, being sick and everything, blah blah blah, and sinus issues, and he feeling better and everything. So he asked me how am I doing. He said, hope everything's doing well with you. So still growing, I'm still growing, and he say, well, we all should. When we stop growing, we stop living.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, and then my response was, we all at some point are going in the same direction. Depends on, are you growing to live or are you growing to prepare to die?
Mm-hmm.
I know we was talking about it earlier, and my thing with that is it's more spiritual to me. Where I feel like a lot of people think growing is economical. And you would think like that because that's a lot of times what we talk. Make money. There's nothing wrong with that. But my take on it is, the way I said it is more spiritual. Are you going to prepare to die? Because you got to be right, in your soul. If believing in what we believe, if you want to have a good afterlife or life after death.
Mm-hmm.
That was my response to him. And he didn't respond back to it, but
Growing to die? That don't really make sense to me.
To prepare for that. That's how I said it the first time we was talking earlier.
I don't. Death is always, the older you get, the more apparent death is. The more you realize how close to death you eventually are. But growing to die, nigga, that don't even sound like it makes sense to me. If you're growing,
you took out the word prepare.
Yeah, like prepare. That whole, like you live your life with that whole was separated from animal shit. Animals don't worry about that shit. Like whether what I'm doing is how it's gonna affect once I die, the afterlife and all that shit. Animals don't think about that shit. They're instinct. Humans, that's what separates us. So you live to be healthy and shit and to, prolong your life. But you live with intent, purpose and shit. If you don't call it growing, I think that's what happened. Once you stop growing, you pretty much dead. Until you realize, you realize what it's about and you start growing again. That even makes sense. Plants fucking grow, give off whatever they give, bear or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then they die and then they reborn and shit. How does that work?
That's different, ain't it?
I don't really know. I mean, but there's purpose in all of it.
We talked about that too.
Even with animals, like they goal is really to reproduce, to keep themselves going. That's the only real instinct they have as far as once they dead, they eating to live, breathing to live, defending themselves to live. The only thing that really translates into once they die is their children. They instinctually know that they gotta make babies and shit to keep going. We ain't really like that. We got other shit internally, like, morals and principles and beliefs and all that other shit that complicates our thing. So growing to die, I don't really know what that means. You living, so while you living, you should take advantage and get something from it. That's my understanding of it. Cause I be on that same shit, nigga. Like, what the fuck is the point, nigga? Then you gotta think, like, it's a blessing, they say. Even if you don't necessarily feel it yourself, like, I be on that shit, like, fuck, like, what the fuck is the point of all this shit? Like, especially when we talk about the shit we talk about. How we just trying to live and motherfuckers is really trying to destroy us. If you money hungry, that's your purpose. But it's a purpose. That shit drive you in life. I'd rather be money hungry than not give a fuck about nothing. And just be stagnant, just sitting there and doing nothing. Sitting in the same place I was 20 years ago and shit. Not that I would, want to be money hungry, but that's better than nothing. Right? Because you ain't growing at all if you're just sitting there doing nothing. I don't know.
A whole lot of different terms out there too that we could talk about as far as, like, let's say the term what they say, born to live and bred to live. What is it? Bred to live, born to die.
I don't know. I kind of know that, but I can't speak on it. Look it up.
Look up what? It's just the old saying. Bred to live, born to die.
Bred to live?
Yeah, you bred to live.
Somebody
taught.
had you.
Yeah.
Bust a nut up in something.
And now you taught to get that money and live. But you were born.
Oh, no.
But you were born. Cause that's why I say everybody going in the same direction, because death is the inevitable. So you born to die. You bred to live, or born to die, bred to live, born to die. That's a term. And then you got instead of
born to die, bred to live. Oh, Scrappy did that? Said that?
Who? Scrappy? No. Scrappy who? Scrappy do?
No, Little Scrappy.
Little Scrappy didn't say that. He didn't coin that phrase, because that phrase been out way before Little Scrappy even thought about. But then you got the other term. We, instead of living to eat, you eat to live. A lot of crazy old terms.
Instead of what?
There, man. You live, instead of living to eat, you should eat to live.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of crazy little terms out there, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of heard that before, but I don't know where it came from. They telling me Scrappy did that shit.
Nah, that term been out way before Scrappy. When we was kids, I heard that.
Born to live, bred to die. Bred to live, bred to die, born to live.
Bred to die, born to live. Nah, it can't be bred to die. Born to die, bred to live. Bred to live, born to die.
I don't know none of that shit, man. That's just me, though. I kind of get that bred to live shit. Like, they had you so you could live, live on. As soon as you alive, you on your way to death.
Every day.
Day by day, closer to death. That's why it's important to get something from it, because we all gonna die. Might as well get something while you're here. Yeah. The something is the question. What is the something? What is the something that get something while you're here? What is the something? That's a part of the dilemma. That's the part of the meaning of life. That question. You know what I'm saying?
Leave a legacy.
Yeah, it could be. Who says what's the right way to go, or what it's all about?
You say what? Who says what's the right way to go?
Especially when you think about the shit we talk about. I would love to say people should just be able to be born and live their life and blah blah blah. But it ain't like that. We living in a thing. This thing got a whole nother goddamn agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of this shit do we really choose in our world? You know what I'm saying? Like, we believe the earth is round and shit. And, same shit happen every day for the most part. But they saying it's just all by chance.
Same shit happen every day.
I ain't never see a meteor hit this motherfucker. Personally, I seen some lightning real close. You know what I'm saying? Real close. Like, what the fuck? Like, real, like, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck?
I seen right in front of me.
So I know, every day you just live life and look at the world and be like, oh, shit is amazing. But what the fuck is it? What is the world? What is life? All that shit, like. You know what I'm saying?
Get money.
Yeah, so the only world we really know is the world that we live in, nigga.
That's all
Up under these motherfuckers.
All I know is get money.
I don't know how the people that was here before they showed up lived. What that whole thing was even like or about. We happen to be born in a time when these motherfuckers was running shit. And the older I get, the more I do research, the shit that I learn is all like bullshit. The people that I looked up to is all lies and shit. People I try to pattern my life after is like, not all, but a lot of the heroes and shit. It ain't nothing with this,
Man, that's crazy. We ain't got
We're
no
living
more.
in a time when men and women don't even know how to be men and women. Like, you know, I grew up the time I grew up. You know, people my daughter age and a little bit older, like 21 now. Like, like kind of half of my age. Growing up in a whole different world than I grew up.
Definitely.
They can't relate to the shit that So just in them years, them couple of generations, I see how times change, things change, the world changes. So if it changed that drastically just in the time since I've been born and the new generation that came around, what the fuck was it before that? And before that, and before that, and all that shit. What is life about? You know, this shit teach me that, I'm noticing that a lot of the people that tell the truth have to wait till they damn near dead to start telling the truth. Most people don't get it till they older. Most people ain't really had time to sit down and think to get it till they older. And even if they see it earlier than that, they ain't in no position to change nothing until they older. Which is like, I be wondering why they killed a lot of niggas in history, right? But there's only a few that they actually went up in their house, just like, they killed Fred Hampton, like on some, yo, he gotta go now. To have cops just run up in that man's house looking for him. Which one? Is that him? Yeah, it's him. Pop, 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 pop. That nigga had to go, like now. Because maybe he understood it at too young an age, and they understand that the older he got, he would have just understood it more. And that is a threat that we can't have. He influencing too many people. Shit like that I think about. Because we living in a quote unquote free society that when they it's all about not owning, but, sharpening skills on how to approach shit. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean? Sharpening.
Like you look at the it's about power, but it's something else. You look at that whole acupuncture shit where they allowed them to grow to a certain extent. And then they get to a point where it's like, no, we gotta do away with that. It's beneficial as fuck. It will help a whole lot of people, but we just gonna demonize them and get rid of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Tesla and them niggas. Nikola Tesla. What's his name? What's his name? Nikola. Whatever. Tesla. How they did him and shit. And then, like, all these years later, now his technology is showing up. Well, maybe he's a fucking fraud. It's all this shit.
Why would you say you're a fraud?
Okay, back to that whole, the whole free American free thing. They are very good at giving the appearance of freedom. Because it's all kind of based on money. Which is kind of the model. The whole model of what they wanted this place to be. Capitalist. If you got money, you do what the fuck you want. Capitalist, it's all about the money. You look at other fucking, governments and shit. Why does nobody else? Well, not that nobody else do it. That's all. You know, you got all these things compared to, man, and they all run by kind of the same people. But look at Canada. You know, free health care and shit. Here we are right in America, and they like, nope, we ain't doing that. Like, you know, because it would go against the whole capital. But there's other shit, social programming, whatever. I don't know. What was you talking about? What you say?
I don't know. You were talking about Nikola Tesla.
Do you know any white dudes that prominent that speak against the government and shit? Not mainstream, nigga. I hear all the time, like, it's easy for somebody who just came to terms with what it is and said, fuck it, it is what it is. I gotta tell it from this side. This shit is all a fraud. And then you have on a you know, on the opposite side, it's either you say it's all a fraud and just, you know, it is what it is, or you gotta say, nah, it ain't a fraud.
What's a fraud? Where would the fraudulence come in?
And, you know, that's a part of it. Like,
or is it just deception? Deception and manipulation. I ain't gonna say it's a fraud, cause whatever is going on is real. It's just deceiving. It's being manipulated.
You know, the whole America thing.
Cause they'll give you $400 in food stamps, but they'll raise the hell out of prices.
Right. You know, this whole America thing though, like, oh man.
Huh? Cause now.
Okay, right. America. Okay, so America, right? If you a white dude in America in 1860, everything seemed to happen around that time. 1860s, 70s. All the changes and shit. Things is pretty good for you.
What was that? The Industrial Revolution? Which one? Which Industrial Revolution was that?
That was Civil War, 1865, right?
Cause we in the what? The third Industrial Revolution now.
Yeah, well, it's about to be the fourth. Yeah, the fourth one is when the whole the Internet of Bodies.
That was the fourth one?
That is the fourth one. Where we become a part of the whole digital thing.
Cause Nikola was born in 1856. Mm-hmm. And he was the one that basically contributions to the design of the modern alternating
AC
current electricity supply.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like,
how far apart are the industrial revolutions? If we're going into the fourth one, how far apart are they? When was the first?
What, the second one? The second one was...
when was the first industrial revolution?
Probably the wheel, right?
According to Wikipedia, the Industrial Revolution was the transition to new manufacturing processes in Europe and the United States, in the period from between 1760 to 1820 and 1840.
And that was the first one.
Second one was our shit. With the mills and shit. Then with technology was the third. The internet and all that shit. I believe, right? Look at that. And the new one is where we become a part of that whole thing.
Yo. casting right now while you on the phone. Yeah. I ain't know if you wanted to come. You welcome to listen. You welcome to listen in. Huh? I need to, but I'm trying to look up some stuff too. I can't look up stuff while I'm on the phone. Hold on. When was the second industrial revolution? See, it ain't gonna let me look up stuff while I'm on the phone. I'm gonna have to type it.
Just hit me up, man. We got that.
I'm gonna have to type it in. Hold on. Go ahead. What was you saying?
I don't know, man.
You was talking about the second trying to figure out when it was. Oh, you were saying that this the fourth industrial revolution with us being a part of it, being integrated into it.
Yeah. We the fucking product now. We not the consumer, we the product. So who's the, you know? Yeah, so oh man.
So the second industrial revolution lasted from the mid 19th century until the early 20th century and took place in Britain, continental Europe, North America, and Japan. The mid 19th and the early 20th. What is the second industrial revolution and why did it happen? I guess that looked like, I think that was about the mills and stuff.
Yeah,
the
they
mills
was
stuff
factories
came
and
in.
shit.
Factories.
Ford and shit. GM and all them niggas. Yeah.
Which had to be the early 1900s.
Cotton shit. Yeah.
The early 1900s. So let's
late 1800s.
I'm gonna do the third. The third.
I want to say that's technology, man. That's computer and shit.
We about to find
Internet.
out. I'm gonna pull it up. The third industrial revolution, the digital revolution,
Yeah.
began in the late 1900s. The late, so that's 1990. Yeah, that was us.
Yeah.
That was us. And it's characterized by the spread of automation.
So you see the gap? You see the gap in years and shit?
Yeah, the gap in years is probably about 20 years.
No, nigga. The
20,
gap.
30.
The gap from the first to the second was a couple hundred years. The gap from
It
the
said
second
1840. It was 1840 was the first one. Then it came to the 1940.
No, the
Yeah,
first-
that's 100
The
years.
first one was the 1700, really? The first one?
Well, it was from 17, but it lasted to the
The
8th.
second one was from
Second was probably starting around
1860s and shit. Around that time. The third one was like in the 1990s, 80s and 90s and shit. And the fourth one is now, or about to be.
So you said
The social credit system and all that shit.
100 years.
Damn, how we get on this shit, man? We supposed to just be talking shit, nigga.
We supposed to be, but
How we get on this some shit?
because we was there, we was trying to figure out what life was about, and the industrial revolutions is explaining what life under these industrial revolutions is what life is about.
Well, up under these motherfucking
under
places
these
we live at.
certain revolutions or
We
revelations.
We
all
have to
these
be born in
revelations.
this time. We ain't born in a time when niggas was getting hung in trees and shit. We born in a time when it's a difference. It's a whole different thing, nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you back.
Alright, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh. We should go live, nigga.
So what was the Renaissance age about?
That ain't big enough to be considered a industrial revolution to change the game. we making shit by hand, so now we got machines making this shit, mass producing this shit. Then to go from, using machines to digitally doing shit. You can do shit remote and all this other shit, wireless and all this other shit. Digital. You know what I'm saying? Like something that changed the world, as opposed to just, having a big moment in history. French Revolution, fucking, even the Harlem Renaissance shit. You know what I'm saying? Not French Revolution. The word revolution, that's bigger than Renaissance. Renaissance is like, we making money now. You know what I'm saying? We got some shit going on. We got music. We changed a whole different kind of music. You know what I'm saying? It's not as big as a revolution. Renaissance ain't big. Like a revolution changed the world. Especially talking about machines and shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit must have been nuts, nigga, to be able to go from you got to pick shit by hand, everything is hand, put it on fucking donkey and shit, let the donkey take you to wherever, to go to fucking machines and trains that go crazy fast and airplanes and shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then go from, landline, to call Africa or whatever the fuck. It's crazy expensive and crazy, whatever. Bad service and shit, to go to cell phones and shit. You just dial a nigga up. To now, when you're looking at the motherfucker type shit. You know what I'm saying? Pee Wee Herman shit. I remember Pee Wee Herman, nigga. Pee Wee Playhouse, nigga. When he had the screen with the dude on the phone and shit. Like, oh, that shit is crazy, nigga. He could look at him while he talking to him. That shit crazy, nigga.
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody wanted that. Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, nigga. And that's how time. That's what I was saying. The gaps in between, like you went from a couple hundred years, 100 years and whatever, to the gap was what, from the 1860s to the 1990s, 80s and shit. That's what, 130 years. And what, from the 80s to now, that's what, 40 fucking years, nigga. So the jump, how shit's speeding up. You know what I'm saying? To go from establishing what a computer is, they got the big ass computer in the office and shit. They just now discussing maybe we can have a computer in your house and shit. We're gonna have to figure out how to make it smaller and all this other shit. This conversation to what you got in your hand and shit, like in a matter of what, 40 years, man, 50 years and shit. Now, because, it's all about the bottom line, man. So, I was talking to my friend.
I can't wait to see it, bro.
I was talking to my friend, right? And she,
you feel me?
She worked for the government and shit. You know what I'm saying? And she had no fucking idea. So, we was talking about globalism, right? And she was, explaining from her side what she thought about it. And it's all about efficiency for her. That's all she really, that's her concern. And she in the IT field. She a computer scientist and shit. So, engineer, matter of fact. But, so she looking at it as efficiency, like, not looking at the other side of it, the control side of it, clamping down and shit. Everybody become numbers and shit. Some old Holocaust shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that simple at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm, having a conversation with her, and I'm like, I can't really argue against globalism and shit, that whole concept.
Who said that? She said that?
I said that, because if you in the field and you don't see none of the shit that I see, anything that I say is just gonna be like, oh, like I'm a naysayer or I'm hating this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you telling me what you see from your perspective, And ain't none of that shit negative. Ain't no downside to this shit. It's like, wow. So anything I say from her having been, you know, she studied this shit. She understands this shit. And she don't see, like, she's seen the same Terminator movies and shit that I seen, RoboCop and shit. But they somehow made niggas not have to see it. So, you know, I'm listening to her tell me her perspective, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this shit is all fucking happiness to her. Like, it's all great. And my conclusion was, I can't really speak. I don't have no argument against it. Anything I say is going to be conspiracy theory to her. She don't even see it like that.
That's the end game.
So, like niggas who wear the mask and shit and be pushing that shit, their argument is, you know, I'm trying to, you know, back to that word grow. I'm trying to grow as a person. So, if it's even only for just for consideration for other people, I'm gonna do it. Cause I would hate to be the, you know, these are examples people use. I would hate to be the guy that gives it to somebody who then takes it to grandma and gets her sick and dies and shit. To that nigga, you ain't shit you can say. It don't fucking matter what you say. You ain't changing that nigga mind. Cause it's all abstract shit you holding on to. Fuck the science and shit. It's all fucking emotions and sentiments and shit. I would hate to be the guy that abstract shit. Like,
so is it hard to believe in science, or is science
what?
A reach? Is science going too far?
Shit ain't got nothing to do with science, nigga. The scientist is the one that's telling it. The scientist is the ones coming forward like, yo, it's looking bad, son. Fauci ain't no fucking scientist. Even if he is a scientist, that ain't his role. Science, like, he could, even if he know better, that ain't got nothing to do with what his position is. He got money invested. And he got other thing that he a part of invested in this. This ain't got nothing to do with no fucking science. That's what's scary, nigga. Cause niggas will say that. Like, nigga, you think I'm gonna listen to you over the scientists? Like, nigga, you ain't never see G.I. Joe and shit? Nigga, you ain't watch Austin Powers, nigga? These motherfuckers exist. Dr. fucking Evil.
Back to the story you was telling though. What? Back to the story though. Why would it be
watch
so,
cartoons and shit? Nigga?
Why would it be so hard to argue it though, with her?
Because it's a boogeyman shit, nigga. Motherfuckers ain't. I mean, I ain't gonna go that far as to say that she ain't, you know, receptive of any information. But I keep telling you, the beauty in this shit, and it's not beautiful, but it's real. There's people at this point coming to the crazy nigga. Nigga, you one of them niggas? Oh, like you just wasting your life, nigga. You one of them niggas? Conspiracy theory niggas? It's like, fuck you mean? And over time, you start being like, oh yeah, I guess that's what the fuck it is. Like, niggas just ain't really trying to have this, you know. But when it get real, and it's too close to home for you to not see it, that's what I be saying about the times we're in, nigga. Like, people ain't had no choice but to believe, you know, the whole JFK thing. Even if you know you a thinking man, you don't have no evidence, no access to evidence. You know what I'm saying? No proof or shit, nigga. You got what the fuck they give you, and then 50 years later they release it, declassify and shit, and black out everything so you can't see the shit anyway. So it's like a joke.
Gone bad.
But now we live in a
right.
time where we can see this shit happening in real time before they really able to clean it up. That whole the time that we just happen to be here, or maybe not happen to be here. That's the whole shit. Like,
not happen to be here.
Maybe it's deeper than just happening to be here. We just happen to be born in this time. We wasn't born in a time with Spanish moss hanging from trees and shit, nigga, and a nigga hanging right next to him and shit.
No, we wasn't.
We born at a time after that. You know. But still in the same place.
How you figure?
Yeah, we born in the same place that them niggas was born. At a different time. Nigga, we in North Carolina, nigga. South Carolina right there.
Right.
And you know what happened back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it didn't. I don't fucking know.
In the same
shit
place.
Crazy. But
different time.
Different time. So all the shit that they didn't have access to see and understand and be able to process and make decisions based on, we have that shit now. They just have very, very effective ways of not letting us see it, or not, some detours and shit. Just like how, I was thinking about it earlier, man. Like, it used to be a time when you watch the news and shit, it's just a fucking screen, a white broad, black man more than likely. That's usually it. White woman, black man. No, white man, black woman. Yeah, fuck. Or white man, white woman. Just two people on the motherfucking screen talking shit. Telling what happened during the day. The only thing moving is they fucking face and mouth and shit. Now we in a time where it's all like, everything is like, all the time. Why the fuck you do that? What is that about? There's always something moving on the screen, nigga. Words, fucking. That ain't by fucking coincidence, nigga. Like, the news, nigga? Why? I don't know, that's kind of shit I be thinking about, so we got access to the information, man, and
that make it hard to pay attention?
The whole black boom thing, born out of necessity. It's like, I know I can't be the only one paying attention to what the fuck is going on. Something gotta be said. Ain't nobody else saying it. Everybody trying to be nice and shit, get that money. I got 4 kids to feed. All the niggas that we see, seem to be agents and, whatever the fucks. The few real ones is locked the fuck up or dead, murdered, early in life. There's a void, nigga. Like,
I do feel like saying everybody freaking agents, man. Anybody that's got any clout, I guess you call it. Can you call it clout? It seemed to be agents.
I see, like, you go, family and shit, a bunch of real niggas in places, but I don't see that representation, in the mainstream.
What you mean?
You can see it in a nigga's face, like, like, and they come in all kind of different niggas that have the wherewithal to get it and doing what they gotta do for their small little role, place where they at. Don't necessarily go by the status quo and shit. Ain't concerned with, how they're seen from the blah blah blah. They are themselves and doing what they feel like is the right thing to do, right? For their people and shit. Cause they get it, like, it's hard, nigga, like, that's one of the reasons niggas don't to stick in the hood where the threat is so high and shit, quote unquote. If you got money or you got status or something, you always under threat in the hood. If you get money, niggas, you better just move the fuck away, nigga, and get you a house and stay the fuck out the hood. That whole concept. That shit new, nigga. 50 years, that whole thing wouldn't even make sense. 50 years ago, it wouldn't even make sense to say some shit like that.
What made it like that though? Would you say that was? Damn, I can't even think of the freaking word. Self-preservation.
What?
Okay, you get money, but other kids around you ain't getting money, so self-preservation for them kick in like, oh, we gotta get this nigga so we can have us something. But it's crazy because if this person is actually helping the neighborhood, if you fuck him up, then everybody fucked up.
Yeah, I just can't imagine it being like that. Not that long ago.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is now, though. I understand what you're saying. Long ago, it probably wasn't like that, but that's what it is now. Like, niggas just looking for self-preservation, and they don't even care about messing up the main resource. They just fuck up the main resource just to have it for that moment. It's like niggas is living for the moment.
Like niggas say now, the beef ain't about color, it's about ideology.
The idea of it?
Like, it's not about your color, it's about what you about. Your principles and what you believe in. It's like these niggas that do well for themselves, and there's truth to it. If you get up every morning and work hard and shit, most of the people around you ain't gonna be that. I don't know what the numbers was back in the day, but it's probably like that in all cultures and shit. We ain't the only ones. Our poverty and shit is kind of manufactured. But you look at India and shit, there's a whole lot of poverty. They're all the same people for the most part. And there's a whole lot of poverty and shit. Russia and shit, all these places where, it ain't about race. It's a societal thing. A lot of poor white places. The fact that our shit is not necessarily by we don't dictate the terms here. Speaking as black people in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, we the only ones that's here and ain't got no fucking place to just go and return back to whatever. But all these people that's here now, besides us, which kind of lets you know also that it gotta be more to that. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do things, and you see what the American Indian is portrayed as now. It's like whitewashing and shit. That make more sense to think we are the motherfuckers who's here when they showed up.
So are you saying that is wrong? That's wrong?
What?
The ideology.
No, it's okay. My point in saying that was niggas couldn't say no shit like that back in the day.
As far as what?
Cause you just looked at it as a coon, nigga. That's just plain and evident.
What, ideology?
Yeah, it's about.
Cause I would be asking.
If me and a white man,
I asked what's the big idea with this shit? What is the idea of how this shit going?
What?
You asked that question.
What you mean?
how the Indians are portrayed, the things you just talked about. You asked that, what's the big idea with this? You find out that black people invented all this stuff, and then now it's not. Then it's like, what's the big idea?
Yeah. So when you look at it like that, it's like.
So the idea, I understand that makes sense. The idea, instead of talking about it as a race thing, what's the ideology? That kind of makes sense. What's the big idea?
No, what he's saying is.
What who's saying?
With the there's a couple people I be checking out, man, because I respect how they think, but I be trying to figure out. Like, I can't see myself calling, regardless of how ignorant I feel like something a black woman in America at this day and age is doing. I can't see myself removing myself from that and being like, to the point where I talk shit about her, about the state of where we at. Because I kind of get how we got here. Mm-hmm. And you being a prominent dude who worked hard and all that shit, and got some shit going, you have to understand that too, I think. If I understand it, nigga, you understand it. And if you understand it,
terms and conditions can push a nigga to the brink, though.
Like, if redlining and all that shit is real, and it's still apparent. We talk about that shit, how they still be fucking niggas on house value.
Redlining, you got me there.
Huh?
You got me with redlining.
What was it? Oh, when they wasn't letting niggas buy houses?
What is it? That's what redlining is?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you can't buy a house here. You gotta buy a house over there. That kind of shit. And, gouging and shit. And they still do that shit now, the gouging and shit. We was talking about that shit. Niggas be getting their white friend to go price a house. Shit,
right.
A whole lot cheaper. And the multiple various lawsuits and shit for racial discrimination and shit. It happened all the fucking time. Not always, outward. So a lot of times subtle, behind the scenes and shit. Talking money and shit, interest rates and shit, whatever the case is. What was you talking about?
You talking about the redlining?
Yeah, but for a nigga to make it through and still be that, it's one thing to judge. It's how niggas so quick to voice it. The voice. Yeah, like, talk shit about black people. Niggas, here we go another day with When I was young, I always learned, and he's smart. He know a lot of shit. This dude in particular I'm thinking about. I just don't. If you understand it, like, that's a doctrine. Ideology. It's more ideology than race. So
I'm gonna judge.
Ideology, not race.
I'm gonna judge. I'm gonna judge because I believe in right and wrong, and I'm gonna judge on whatever side. It don't matter. Yellow, green, white, black, brown. Because I believe in right and wrong. Well, I know there's a right and wrong. It's within me to know right and wrong. If I don't want something done to me, so why do it to somebody else? If I want something done to me, then I do it to somebody else, with all due respect.
You think they can hear that screen and shit? TV?
Huh?
You think they can hear the TV on there?
It might a little bit, not bad, not too much though. I turned it down pretty good.
Damn it, that shit gonna fuck it up.
Nah, but yeah, I strongly, and that's the thing. Like I think we talked about it before, man. As far as right and wrong, you got people that don't believe, this new age that don't see right and wrong anymore. Like, there's no right and wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's a part of what I'm saying. Like,
and what's the big idea with that?
So you look at it like, okay, I don't really know what that means. It's not a don't know what's right and wrong is. Yeah, I think it's more don't really.
You don't know right and wrong? How you? What sense does that make? That right there don't make sense. I mean, if you got
like we was talking about,
you got roaches and rats in your house.
Oh man, with the metaphors, man, and analogies and shit. So,
man, this episode was supposed to be talking shit anyway. I'm gonna talk some shit.
Like we talk about how.
He gonna
let
me talk
like we
shit.
was talking about how the little girl ran to Michael Myers, right?
Damn.
It's evil, but is it wrong?
That's her decision.
No, but that's a microcosm. You know what I'm saying?
A what?
It's a small example in the big thing. Demon time, nigga. That whole thing.
That was her decision.
What the fuck you keep saying that for? That was it's
she
not.
Said she ran to Michael Myers and
it wasn't just a decision.
On top
it's
of
a
that,
mind state to feel comfortable doing it.
On top of that, what did Michael Myers have to make her want to go to him?
What did he have?
I mean, shit, he ain't gonna be sitting there with a goddamn knife with blood on it. You still gonna run to him?
That's what I'm saying.
It's fucking nuts.
That's my point. It's evil, but is it wrong? Like, her father was like, hey, there's Michael Myers over there. I wouldn't do no shit like that with my little girl.
Wait a minute, what was this? Halloween?
No, it was I don't know. It might have been on Halloween.
They're gonna what they call it? The hayride? Halloween hayride?
It was the house, nigga.
What, they was at a haunted house?
At their crib, man. At the house, man.
At a haunted house?
The video was out there somewhere. They at the house and she, I had a little subtitle shit, a caption or whatever. So she a big Michael Myers fan or some shit, man. Our father was like, talking to her and shit. I mean, and fucking Michael Myers pops out in the fucking, they standing in front of their house, across the street, house and shit. Michael Myers coming, standing on the side. No, not across the street. It was like an apartment or some shit. Something like that. I don't fucking know. He was close enough to run to him. He was far enough so, like, behind a bush and shit.
Go get Michael. Go get him.
Well, he didn't do all that. It was on her. But he egged it on and shit. Like, he recorded and talking to him.
Fucking you nuts.
Yeah, so she saw Michael Myers and I don't know, man. Paused, I guess, and then ran to him. And then he stepped out of the bushes and hugged her, picked up. I thought the shit was disturbing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I brought it up. But yes, so it's not like
it's a lot of disturbing shit going on.
It's not like not knowing right from wrong. It's like, I guess that is what it is. It's evil, but is it wrong?
I mean,
if the whole world is breeding a psychopathic profile onto the population,
you putting women.
The chances are, numbers is gonna show that some of the niggas gonna pick it up.
You putting women on commercials showing their periods.
Crazy shit, nigga. Like some absurd shit where you like, what the fuck?
What's the idea?
Or, you watching the game and commercials just, they don't even give you time to turn your fucking head, nigga. Like, two dudes kissing on TV and shit. A commercial, nigga. Like, what the fuck you mean? Since when you should be able to watch the game and you lose your appetite and shit? That shit ain't right, man. What up?
That shit'll put you to sleep, nigga. You be want to go to sleep.
Period blood, nigga, in a commercial, nigga?
You want to go
fuck, nigga?
You be want to go to sleep like, man, fuck it. I'm done.
Like, this shit ain't about fucking chance, nigga.
I'm going to sleep.
They trying to create fucking crazy people, man. They breeding that shit. people that they fucking morals and shit just be fighting each other all throughout the day and shit. Like,
yeah.
like I know that ain't right, but damn.
Start having dreams and shit about this shit.
Like it's too evident now, man. It's too obvious
girls
now,
having
man.
dreams about them bleeding and shit.
I don't know. We ain't supposed to get on that shit, man.
What? Nah, it's fucking stupid, and it makes sense. Like, damn, now your little 8-year-old daughter having dreams of bleeding.
So then you add the whole fucking phone phenomenon, smartphone and shit. They get into your kids without you even knowing it, nigga. So you take those things, you know. I'm grown. I look around and see this shit is nuts. And these same motherfuckers that's running this shit that's nuts got access directly to my child, nigga.
You know they don't talk about that no more.
What?
About how to censor stuff from the kids. They don't talk about that no more.
I don't know if they talk about it.
They don't. You remember
I don't trust they censoring this shit.
I mean, they used to talk about it where you could fix the phone or something to where
I'm sure they still
the child couldn't get to certain things, but they don't talk about that no more.
They, you know, kids ain't fucking dumb, man.
Nah.
I know I was pretty fucking, you know, I figured some shit out when I was younger.
I mean, kids, they very smart nowadays, but sometimes I feel like they too smart for their own good, though.
When I was young and shit, we, you know, it used to have them channels where it'd be the Playboy or whatever channel, but it all snowy and shit. You know what I'm saying? You could hear it, but you can't see it, shit. Back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I used to work that knob, nigga, and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Damn, pause, nigga, fuck. You know, and get a little, you know what I'm saying? Kids ain't even gotta do all that no more, nigga. It's buttons and shit. Pressing buttons and shit.
Everything clear, boy. HD, man.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
High definition. Put the gold tip in there. Pause.
Yeah, they got direct access, nigga. And these kids be on that shit, man. So, I know this shit nuts. I gotta watch what the fuck I watching this shit because it's fucking traumatizing this shit. Period blood on a commercial, nigga? Who the fuck said that was cool? Yeah, let's roll with that. They had meetings and shit, nigga. Yeah, let's go with that one. That shit is absurd, nigga. So imagine the shit they be sending your kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? All subliminal shit.
And you know what? Once they tap on it, oh, it's in. The algorithm is in. It's gonna pop up all the time. It happened to me today. I swear it did, man. This shit is nuts. I'm sure by now everybody done experienced this, and
but people joke about it, man. Like, you know,
I'm sure everybody done experienced this and done seen it in some shape, form, or fashion.
Motherfuckers my age, man. Niggas ain't got no excuse, nigga. If you seen fucking what was this Demolition Man and shit. I always go back to the movies, man, because niggas know movies. You know, plots and shit. We seen it already. Why niggas be playing like it ain't real? And we seeing it again in real life. NFTs and all this shit. Like, what the fuck is that? What that even mean? I still don't know what that shit mean. NFTs shit. What the fuck that even mean, nigga? I know niggas making money. And go back to that whole thing, nigga.
Let me ask you a question.
Hey,
we're hour and something in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Oh, man,
why do and we'll probably talk about this maybe another time. But the question is, why does it seem like women are more accepting of things than men? Why they seem to be more accepting of things that's going on than men?
Damn, that's a great question. Wow.
It seems like they accept it more readily and more easily than men do.
Well, I ain't a woman, but damn, that's a great question.
Different
I
things.
think about shit like that, but I don't think I thought about it. Like, you say accepting of things, and I think of, like, it go back to, you know, Lackawanna Blues, nigga. When Terrence, what's the nigga name? Terrence Howard. When the people came to the house to call themselves checking on the kids and shit. And that nigga Terrence Howard was just chilling, minding his business, just like, you know, ear hustling a little bit, just to see what the fuck was being said. And he got to the point like, man, get the fuck out of here. I got to go. Get the fuck out of here. That whole thing, man. You know?
Well, we're gonna.
Oh man, we gonna what, man?
We're gonna talk about it on another one.
Wow, you gotta let me in on the shit, man. What the fuck is that, man?
I
want to talk about it now, nigga.
Go ahead and get out. We still gonna talk about it more. I was saying you go ahead and get a little bit of it out. Then we're gonna go and really just.
That's a great question, though.
We're gonna go and. That's why I want to go and really. You ended it with Lackawanna Blues, and we can come back to it after we, you know what I'm saying, and really have a conversation about that. Cause I see
that interview with I'm not saying women ain't gonna step up and do what they gotta do.
Yeah, I ain't saying
I agree with that. The whole college football shit, college basketball, all these sports and shit, where the niggas is the heroes and shit. They the only motherfuckers who worth looking at and shit, analyzing their life and their movement and their decisions and shit. A lot of these niggas, you demonize the black man, get them niggas up out of there, lock their ass up, kill them, get them on dope, whatever the case is. Then it's fucking open season, nigga.
And this is the standard.
It's not about.
This is the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
when only one in 500 make it, or 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 in a million.
It's not even that, because it's what, about 400 million? How many people in the NBA? About 400? Yeah, I guess it's right.
I mean, you know, you got what, 32 teams, 12-man roster.
Yeah, 400. You know. Yeah, that's about right. 1 in a million. Pretty good. That's it, man. Like, it ain't that they accepting. It's like stability, nigga. Weighing options and shit. Pros and cons, nigga. Looking at it from that perspective. And hey, you know. Do you think a man would hold up, okay. Do you think a man would be willing? See, that's fucked up to say that, because women usually get left with the kids, man. I guess you can't really ask that question. If men would be willing to accept quote unquote welfare from the government. You can't really look at it like that, because that's another part that make it, you know.
You said would they be willing to?
Yeah, would niggas be, you know.
Shit, they damn.
I ain't talking about the people now, because we in that state, nigga, where it's just a part of what we do. I'm talking about from when it was implemented. We all conditioned to say, fuck it, I'll take some money. It wasn't always like that. Niggas would be like, fuck your money, nigga, I'll get my own money. For the most part, most men are like that, but that's not the common belief. You know, niggas had too much pride and manhood and shit to be accepting free money from. I work for my shit.
Well, I mean, especially under the certain terms and conditions, because it's gonna come with some terms and conditions. We give you this, but you can't have that nigga in there. We give you this, but
that's the whole point. That's the point. Like, it ain't never was for the people. It was for the thing. not about. They don't give a fuck about niggas. You think they built the projects and shit for niggas? As a good deed, nigga? Projects came up not long after Tulsa. And all that shit.
Really?
Yeah. New Deal and all that bullshit. What?
I mean, you could say that projects were made when.
You could say.
You could say the projects were made when they had to stay in freaking cabins during slavery. Yeah. Project like that.
Project what?
You could say projects were made when they had to stay in cabins during slavery. They were bunched in freaking cabins.
What that mean again?
You said that projects came about after Tulsa, but you could say projects were take downtown Charleston, that area right there that used to be
historic.
Yeah, that area that used to be where the slaves stayed. It's still black people right there.
What that mean?
That's projects. That's a form of projects, if you ask me.
No, projects meaning, the reason I say after Tulsa shit, because there wasn't no public housing before that. Niggas was making their own way. You take away the infrastructure, build fucking projects, and you stifle any goddamn, if niggas own their own shit, and y'all destroy it, and funnel niggas into government shit, and, add the other shit with it. That whole upward mobility shit. You stifle that shit. Redlining. You know what I'm saying? To go from, they probably thought you was gonna fail, or whatever the case is, till you start doing better than them. And and we all know that's the case. Hello.
Podcasting. Okay. What you saying? Man, we can come back to this on the next episode, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I would like to know the real history, man.
Stay dangerous. Say the children. Cut.